Alright, so this video is going to be about energy. So I'm going to do my best at explaining my understanding of energy, how it plays a part in life, what exactly it means to raise your vibration, and what that means for you and why that's important. I'm going to try not to ramble. You know, I do have a difficulty not doing that. So, here we go. I'm just playing. So, energy. Now, science would call, to my analogy, science would consider things like, matter, molecules, ions, electrons, whatever that shit is, for, that's basically, I believe, what the technical scientific term for energy is, okay? But in all actuality, energy is energy, okay? So that means everything in life is energy. Whether we perceive it as being a living object or a living thing or an object, or if we don't, it doesn't matter. Even the things that are not visible to the naked eye, our creative energy, our thoughts, our feelings, all of these things are energy. Okay, energy, as we know, it doesn't die, it only transfers. So with that being said, energy is the little tiny things that move around at a certain speed to form and create a manifested object or being, right? So the speed at which those little things are, moving around are going to be called frequency or the vibe. So energy is what makes up everything. Speed, vibrating at different frequencies in order to create different things, okay? So, now, energy is important because, like I said, it's everything. Like, without energy, there's no us. There's nothing. There's no nothing. Now, if you understand metaphysics, it says that that we are all part of a collective. There's the law of one, the law of totality. We are all, a collective, part of a bigger picture. We're like a puzzle piece in a very large, infinite puzzle, okay? So we are all part of a greater source of energy, and in metaphysics that would be referred to as like source, like the power hub, the giver of all energy, the creator of energy. He's picking up what I'm putting down. So scientifically, God is kind of a proven entity, a proven thing, a fact, because we all stem from this main source. We are all part collectively of this main source of energy, that is perfect and infinite and amazing, full to its full enlightenment and potential of the source. Okay, it's like the power of the powers. Like there's no other power above the power, and that's God, right? Anyway, so with that being said, everything in life is connected because we are literally of God, literally tiny pieces of shreds of His light. Okay, now it's important to know and understand the depths of energy, because not only are we made of energy, but everything around us, everything that we are sending out to attract back to us, everything that we feel, hear, think, smell, touch, everything is made out of energy. Now, I like to explain, like I would explain to my kids when I would try to break down, how crystals and all these beautiful stones, how they all are actually of the earth, you know. They all actually come from the earth. Like, so like the fact that, you know, God made this super cool rock thing, you know, and not only is it a super cool rock thing, but this actually is good too. This is a selenite. Like, you can get them in wands or stones or whatever. This is raw selenite, but it's good because what this does, and a lot of times you can tell by the look of it, you know, color is a energy and a projection of different things. Like blue and purple are like protection and maybe like nurturing-ish, feminine, like traits, motherly, basically. You know, that such cool, amazing rocks, you know, could possibly, you know, come from the earth, like how this is made, right? Each one in all, you know, its uniqueness. So when I explain energy for reasons why these types of things are tools that God gives us, and the source gives us, to be able to use while we're here, living this human experience on earth in this time, that if we allow ourselves to wake up and we allow ourselves to tap into the divine, into the connection that we are meant to do, regardless of brainwashing and manipulated religion. Anyways, if we were to tap into those things, we would be able to use these certain tools that are in our toolbox to be able to work through the current lesson and test that we're in, the current stage of enlightenment that we are each on our own individually, but collectively in. We're all in our own place in this path. Now, when I say that things are used as tools, just like the candle with Jesus on it. The reason I say that these things are used as tools, tarot cards, okay, you know, crystals, stones, gems, candles, you know, these things are tools. You know, if you want to get deep into it, I wasn't there yet, but, you know, anything that is, for one, if it comes from the earth, if the earth produces these things, that makes a lot of things click now. Even when I just thought of even weed, you know, weed does come from the earth, and it does help, you know, open up that connection with different realm, in a sense, right? Any kind of intoxicant would do that. Probably cocaine, you know what I mean? I'm sure, because they all have their pros and cons. But anyways, so there's certain things that we're given, tools to be able to go through this journey that we're in right now, to help us learn the lessons in which we have to learn when we're in the current life that we're in. So, you know, when I explain like what makes, you know, this little rock so powerful to be able to say, hey, this can heal you, or to say that this can help balance your chakra based off of the vibration that is coming off the bowl when I'm doing this. You know, because people do use this as, I just like this, as healing, right? Same thing with the crystals, same thing with, you know, different techniques and herbs and stuff like that, right? Because I explain it like, God put, you know, when you know that feeling of goodness, that increase inside, like just a vibration in you when everything is, you're having a great day, or you have a surprise, or, you know, you're really happy and you're laughing or whatever, right? When you're in good feelings, it's like that feeling. God puts so much strong, very strong feelings of that feeling of love and happiness and peace into such a little tiny rock, that it then gives this little tiny rock like extra ability to do certain things that that source intended for it to do. So this rock, I can, when I'm grounding myself, I can focus on putting my grief and my pain, and it's like it takes that from you, and like it helps kind of purify you, release things, release negative energies and stuff. So different things do different things, right? Um, so we are able to use these things to help us through our journey, if and when we are ready and supposed to. Now, with that being said, it's important that you are aware of your vibration and what affects it, because not taking heed and understanding is going to keep you from elevating. Now, I know, I'm sure you probably heard me talking about us doing this transition, from the third dimension of consciousness as a collective to the fifth. So we are literally elevating collectively in totality as a being, as a society of beings. We are due to elevate now with this cosmic shift of, Jupiter and Saturn, and their conjunction that is going to increase certain areas in the universe and in consciousness to allow or to give the potential and allow energy to kind of step its game up. So it's like promotion. But in order to elevate, you have to it's mainly focused on the energy, your higher self, finding balance and peace and joy and the right vibrations in life. Because with the elevation to the fifth dimension, right now we are in a third dimensional world. We are third dimensional beings, right? Now, transitioning to the fifth dimension of consciousness is going from, to my understanding, if I'm going to remember this in the right way. So a third dimensional being is what most people are at, or are coming out of. It's the awareness of themselves, awareness of other individual people, and the understanding that we are a civilized class on an earth that has a lot of individual people and a lot of individual things that are living, and we're all here on this earth. But that's it, not really taking it any further. So it's like you halfway step into the understanding of totality, but you kind of stopped before you got there. Like you didn't open that door. So the fifth dimension would be taking it to realizing that, things are more than what they seem. There's more under the surface. Being aware that things aren't adding up, that life is has to be more to life than this, and that awareness of just things not really serving their purposes, or being balanced in the right ways, kind of like an awakening, or like your mind becoming aware that the things around them aren't adding up and making sense to morality and to value and to compassion and humanity. Okay, so at that, in the fifth dimension, you can start tapping into your abilities, being able to understand things like this: energy, frequency, projection, protecting yourself, manifestation, psychic abilities, things like that. Okay, so we are in that transition right now. So in order for you to elevate, once or if things do go, as I feel, or, it's a lot of people who have ability already feel it's going to go, because it's like our mind, our conscious, our soul is already in the fifth dimension. By understanding and accepting all of these types of things, starting with the fundamental laws that govern the universe. However, remember how I say like two energies that are not vibrating at the same frequency cannot coexist. You know, the stronger and the higher the vibration is going to naturally be forced up and shed the lower energy. That's just how it is. You can't coexist at that level, I'm sure, very long. So right now, being like my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, I'm sure even further than that, but my conscious mind is already in the fifth dimension. Right now, I'm basically having a blockage because even though my conscious awareness is in the fifth dimension, my energy vibrations and projections are still here in the third dimension. That is why, you know, you have to balance and find these right energies and charge your energies and project the right energies and frequencies so that you can then, as a being, begin to vibrate at a higher frequency and elevate as well with your conscious mind to the fifth dimension. So, now with that being said, you know, things that will lower your vibration are going to be things that feel negative. Well, let me explain as well. Negative and positive, you also have to understand, are somewhat an illusion. You know, the definitions of a negative emotion and a positive emotion are kind of going to be based off of perception. Because again, I say things like that all the time. It's not again because I haven't said this in this video yet. But reality, you know, what we perceive as reality is merely that. Reality is an illusion. Reality can never be seen for its true reality because one person, you know, anything with the brain can only see reality as it perceives it in its own, from its own perception. So, you know, you can be in the same place, two different people who have completely two different experiences and recalls of situations, even though they're both there having in the same situation. It's because you know, your reality is based off of, you know, your experiences in life are going to cause you to create beliefs and thought processes. And those beliefs and thought processes are formed by the perspectives that you have on your past experiences that now have led you to set understanding or beliefs of certain things. So, your view of negative might not be the same view as somebody else's, and vice versa, which is okay because there's yin and yang, you know, light and dark, good and bad. You know, there has to be a balance between both. You don't have to have the same perspectives. You know, things don't have to be facts because at the end of the day, the only thing of facts is cycle and continuance. You know, is change. Is, you know, that's the only facts in life other than Father, God, Source, and continuance. So the law of intention comes into a big part of that when it comes to what's, you know, how the universe is perceiving the frequency of your projections. If that makes sense. So when you lower your vibration, it's going to be situations, circumstances, people, and things that are going to make you feel bad, any kind of negative emotion that can get you down or get you stagnant and stuck in one place. So whether you hold on to things and you know, you need to release, and you kind of shove everything back in your brain, and you don't actually deal with or process anything or work through anything, you're gonna have definitely a buildup or a blockage there. Also, you know, things that make you upset, things that make you angry, So any kind of negative emotion or feelings, whether it's projected by you or whether it is received by you, being in, and even if it's not even you, even if someone across the world, is still going to affect the collective, because again, that collectivity and the law of one, nobody's going to win unless we all win. Nobody wins unless we all win, because at the end of the day, in totality, we are source. We are all required to show up for the job if that's what we're doing. So of course, right now we're at a stance where no one knows what they're doing. Dark night of soul. But anyway, so not only that, but understand that everything in life has a vibrational value. So little things, size doesn't matter, nothing like that. It's more in the thought of good feelings, bad feelings, subconsciously or consciously, projecting what is actually being sent out and projected into the universe. So the more positivity that you have in your life, even down to the words that you use or the thoughts that you think, because even words, colors, these things have vibrational value. So the better and more positive and good of a word, that's what you're projecting. If you're always talking shit and you have a bad habit like me, you cuss a lot or whatever, those are harsh and negative, hardened, bad energy that is projecting out, adding to the collectivity. Does that make sense? So even things like that. Now, so the more positive energy that you have, the further away that you're going to be from being depressed and unstable and all of the negative things that suppress and keep down people in society, whether it's health, whether it's politics or health, or I think I said that one already, or progression, careers, relationships, all of these things, because of they don't have people who have those types of issues, because they don't have that balance and that they don't have the balance in life or the elevation in their energies. So other things that we're going to lower your vibration: junk food, processed food, things like clothing. And the reason I say clothing, I have a good friend that I've a good knowledge, intellect exchange, connection with somebody I met here through this page, who blows my mind. Everything in life has a purpose, and this person has helped me a lot as far as preparing for the dreams in which I've had, that I feel are to come. And it's mind-blowingly crazy because he's had the exact same dreams. That's crazy. So he's been helping me as far as getting myself prepared. But he explained a lot of stuff to me that I was misunderstanding, or that I didn't really understand all the way, or gave me a lot of confirmation. But so when it comes to, I say, clothing, he explained to me just yesterday, it blew my mind, maybe it was the day before, he explained to me how when Adam and Eve in the beginning, they bit the apple and they found temptation, and they surrendered to temptation. After that, they suddenly realized that they were naked and they put clothes on. Now, this was the original beginning of our digressing and being at such a low frequency of energy, because that suddenly corrupted their mind in a sense and added to a pure slate. It added that darker side that was never there, of perversion, or sexual feelings or whatever, embarrassment, shame, all these things. Those are all negative energies that suddenly manifested and had became real. So, and that makes a lot of sense, because our bodies and our souls, also, we are vibrational energy. We are a very high energy, I would assume. In order to, well, I don't know how energy frequencies work, if they go into negatives, if higher is lower, lower is higher, if there's like some, I don't know the factors into that yet, but you know, now we are, now it's a regular thing that everyone wears clothes, you know, we're fully dressed, sometimes too much clothes on, whatever the case may be. But what is not being told to you is that energy, your energy is very high. I mean, like crazy. I can't remember the number, but a very high, almost all of it is, your energy is based on being recharged and cleansed by nature, by Mother Nature. You know, if you're in the house all the time, electronics. So, when Adam and Eve, you know, did that sin, it introduced those things to us. So, what that did is create the need for clothing, which now puts a blockage on our absorption of the sun energy. You know, so if you're inside all the time, like I said, you're always on the phone or in the dark or on technology, that is lowering your vibration. Any kind of radiology, any kind of electronics are going to lower your vibration. A lot of things that are meant to, you know, in our world or in society to elevate your energy is actually going to do the opposite. You know, intoxicants, caffeine, you know, energy drinks, these things are actually going to do the opposite for you, because they're not good energy, actually. Even though you trick yourself into thinking that they're actually not. They're no good for you. Junk food, processed food. Understand that food for us, especially things like green vegetables, fruits and vegetables, anything that is getting grown and being raised up by the actual sun, you know, by sunlight, is going to have that natural charge. That was weird. What was that? It's going to have that natural charge of that energy, and therefore you're literally charging your energy with energy, as if you're like, you know, damn near like you're a battery. You know, and it's going to have that positive effect on you, where it's going to naturally elevate your internal energy. Naturally, it's going to start to clear your mind. It's going to start to bring you balance, peace, all of these feelings, because like I was saying, like most of your energy is based off of your connection with nature and being charged and stuff. You know, even your connection with spirit is going to be a lot more elevated, increased, if you're taking advantage of Mother Earth. Yeah, so the junk food and stuff you eat, you want to charge, instead you want to charge yourself, charge your energy with God's intended energy charging of, you know, fruits, vegetables, things that are, like I said, that are grown, that are natural, you know, need sunlight in order to even grow. That's going to charge us. Nature itself, like I said, enjoy the day, get in the sun, be in the sun as much as possible with the least amount of clothes on as possible. From according to my friend, it's going to be the trunk of your body needs the most sunlight, which makes sense. You know, once you start to charge those energies, you want to grow and build and maintain a solid foundation. The trunk of your body, you know, representing, you know, symbolically a tree, or a tree symbolically representing the trunk of your body. Therefore, you know, grow roots into them, you know, into truth, into nature, into God, into source, into collective, and keep you balanced. That only makes sense to me. So also you want to, you know, to raise your vibrations, you want to create circumstances and situations and environments that are going to make you feel good. have people around you that are supportive and encouraging and uplifting, that help you to grow and help challenge you to be better, as opposed to put you down and keep you in darker places and sadness and always fighting and things like that. It's just going to keep you at a lower vibration. Um, Invest in yourself, invest in your body, your mind, your soul. Meditate, pray, allow yourself to be open to new understanding and open to downloads. you know uh, Downloads are things once you start to become balanced and start projecting the right energies and start projecting the things that you actually want. Allow your soul to be open out of love and acceptance and genuineness. You are able to tap in and receive downloads. Downloads are like when you go through all these different lives, so you've lived a long time, thousands of years, lived a lot of different things and beings, you have knowledge that you don't just start over and have nothing. Everything is stored in your subconscious mind or in your higher self. And once you begin to tap in, you are then kind of like, let in on your past knowledge or skills that you've already mastered in past lives. Because once you learn something, you don't have to keep learning it. You can you know um, hold on to that knowledge that you've already learned, but you got to tap in to get there. You might suddenly, when you have a download, you're gonna, like, first download I ever had was the understanding and awareness of metaphysics and physics and quantum consciousness and quantum mechanics, and purpose and source and all of these things. I suddenly just knew. Suddenly, the urge and the need to play the drums and the piano when I've never played either one. The ability suddenly to draw, which I've never done before. Things like that. The closer you get to source and balance, the more you'll be shown. Okay, the more is basically like you gotta, once you prove that you can handle it, you'll slowly be let in on information that you know already. You can do things to speed up that, but it's neither here nor there. It's another video. So yes, invest in yourself, meditate, pray, connect with God. Find your purpose. Pray for direction, for will to be carried out, for His will to be carried out, or sources. Gratitude, happiness, all of these positive things that you can think about, prosperity, abundance, all of these things are going to allow you, if you're thinking that as, create a habit of thinking those types of thoughts, it's going to send that out. And by the law of projection and reflection, manifestation, and attraction, those things are what are going to reflect back to you. So therefore, you will start to begin to attract and be able to have beneficial, positive, uplifting, prosperous, and abundant relationships, because your energy is sending that out, instead of sending out things that you don't want, worrying and focus on the wrong things, keeping yourself at a lower vibration. So yeah, also laughing, playing games, making connections, learning. Knowledge is the medication. Education, not medication. So definitely want to invest in yourself like that. You know, Balancing, staying grounded, being in the moment, being appreciative, being aware of surroundings and the things to be grateful for, and things that of the vibes and all of those things. You know, so let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to tell you real quick. You want to keep yourself grounded, cleanse any energy. You can do that by, praying, or, blessing your home, saging it, taking out the, detoxing, cleaning the air, basically. Release is very important, especially if you're an empath. If you're a highly sensitive person, you're a very emotional person, you want to make sure that you are releasing that energy, because a lot of times you're being hit by things, just walking in the mall or walking at school or whatever, you are constantly, without even realizing it, being hit left and right, being beat up with everyone else's energy, because empaths are so in tune that they can pick it up, literally, whether they're realizing that they're doing that. So, I don't know, I apologize. So, learning to protect your energy, You know, you can use certain things, certain stones, to take the negative energy, that increase positive energy. You can, you know, there's different things and prayers and stuff. Of course, Father God, you know, our Allah, our source, is always the number one protector, and we shouldn't rely on anything but Him. But He did give us, He does have a lot of assistance in making sure that we have as much support in our journey as possible. Crazy facts that I found while, you know, furthering my understanding of this is some things that will raise your vibration. Music is a huge part in vibration. It does kind of like supercharge you. I did find that Mozart is a very high positive vibration. Enlightenment, but the vibration in which a being reaches enlightenment is when it is 700 or more hertz per unit of vibration. And then I did find the chakras: root 396, sacral 417, solar plexus is 528, heart chakra 639, throat 741, third eye or brow is 852, crown is 963. But technically, again, according to what I find, you actually reach that crown idea of consciousness at 700. Being able to live without being affected by all of the things that will and can come to distract you and affect you, but allowing them to flow through you without holding on to anything, without resisting or without pulling on anything, and just allow life and things to flow in the way in which it wants to flow, and having trust and living in that positive, peaceful place of knowing, using your clear cognition. So interesting. If you have, oh, and by the way, it does, you know, I don't know who knew this or who figured this out. I didn't write it because I'm not good at technicalities. But it has been projected that they know the frequency of God, of Source. It's at 39.17 hertz, and humans are vibrating at a frequency of between 3 and 17. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I hope that helped. I hope I didn't ramble too much as far as, you know, it's a lot of information and a lot of, you know, detail to try to sum up in like a quick video. So hope it made sense. Feel free to ask me if you have any questions about anything. If I don't know, I can definitely find you the answer.